Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally with sweet, simple spring or Easter DIYs. And I think some of these are just so adorable. You're going to love them.
And most of these will use florals. A couple will not. Stay tuned for the bunny at the end because it is absolutely adorable.
Now, I have these baskets I picked up for $2 each this year when I was in Vermont at an outdoor flea market, and I got a number of them, and I love them. So here I am just taking some floral foam, stuffing that in the bottom, and then working with flowers that I had gotten quite some time ago off of Temu. Not something that I really like to do, but they do, I have to admit, have some pretty amazing florals for the price, but I don't really like to support China. So anyways, I had these in my stash, so I wanted to use them up, and I do love the color for spring and Easter. And I am working here in threes. So I started with the 3 larger roses and then 3 little pretty peach, almost like small carnations. And then I have these darker peach.
Little Gerber daisies.
Love how this combination looks. And then I had a little bit of filler that I'm not sure if I got it there or if I got it at the dollar store, but basically has a little bit of white and green. And then I am just putting some of the reindeer moss to hide that foam on the bottom. And now I like to, once I have this basic thing set up, with this particular style basket, I like to do a hang tag because there's quite a bit of basket space, but also gluing a decoupage or a stamped piece of fabric on the front of the basket is also a wonderful alternative. If you wanted to do something specific to Easter, you could put a cross, or if you wanted to do something more chicks and bunnies, you could put something else in the top of that basket. I am just taking some items that I already had decoupaged on rice paper, and I found something in the peachy color tone that I had already printed. So I just cut out a tag out of cardstock in that pink rose color, and I am just gluing with a glue stick that piece of rice paper right on there. Now that I got from the Graphics Berry in that free domain, and then just went around that with some of the distressing ink, put a hole in it, and added some peach ribbon to tie that on to the side of the basket. And that is just really, really lovely, very sweet. Could be a pretty gift, could be a pretty centerpiece. And then I had this pretty little bird. It's a sticker bird. I got a whole pack of different butterflies and birds from the dollar store. And I just added that peel and stick right on the top of this floral arrangement with that. And that is all I did. But I think really altogether this cost me probably less than $8 to make, and it is absolutely lovely. I just love the colors for Easter, or for spring. So that is item number 1. I wish that I had more faith-based Easter things. I just didn't have time this year to do many of them as I have in times past, because truly Easter is the most incredible day of the year, and I appreciate the real meaning of Easter more than anything. I just really didn't have anything in my stash, and we weren't feeling all that well enough to go get it. So what I also have in my stash are some more of those peat pots, and I have done peat pots in the past, but I wanted to do some little arrangements that I thought would be nice as place settings for Easter. And I had this pretty blue that I had mixed up for another craft, and I love this blue with lavender. So what I decided to do was take the peat pots, and I am going to dry brush one, I am going to fully cover one, and I am going to just put a oval shape on another. So same color on 3 different peat pots, but 3 different ways to give you a variety of ideas. And I had bought a pack of these beautiful lavender transfers on Amazon, and they are a little bit shiny and very, very sticky. But they have a lot of very pretty blue and purples, and I just love these colors together. So I thought these would be great to use on these peat pots. So all I'm going to do is cut out a few of the designs that I think would go best with this blue and peel and stick. Now, it is just the strangest thing. It's not like a typical transfer. You can use it like a typical transfer, but you have to make sure your surface doesn't have paint on it or has a very nice coat of varnish or polyurethane or something beforehand, which of course I did not do on these peat pots. So peeling that off was a little bit challenging on one of them. The one that's fully painted and the one that has the oval, not so bad because it is paint. But on the other one that was just dry brushed, when I peeled away the transfer, it peeled away a little bit of the paint off of the peat pot. So then I had to go ahead and find a couple more transfers and some pieces of lavender to just cover up that little spot. But other than that, these are very pretty. They're inexpensive, they're easy to use, and they're small, so you can get a lot of different projects on just from one sheet. And they make wonderful hang tags or cards or, little ornaments, so things like that. So I thought they would be great here for these peat pots. While I was doing this, my daughter was boiling purple cabbage, so I decided when she was done with the cabbage to just take that leftover juice and to take some of my creamy wool roving and to put that in that while I was waiting to dye that wool. I am a spinner and I love to use different items for different wool, and so I just really love the way that purple came out. I had done one recently in beets that came out such a lovely pink for Valentine's. And then went back to the third little peat pot, finished that transfer, and then added some things inside. I started with some lentils on the bottom. It's too cold to go out and get some stones, and really people in my family don't really like lentils, so I just weighted the bottom of these with that, added a little bit of floral foam and some Spanish moss, and then I had these pretty pieces of lavender picks that you can get on Amazon, or I'm sure you can get them at Temo as well. Lavender in each of these so that the purple on these blue pots would pop. I thought a little pick inside of them with a name on them. You can get these little chalkboards at the dollar store. They could clip on or they stick in, would be adorable. But I happen to have this little metal flower pot holder that I absolutely love, and I thought looked so beautiful with this displayed. I thought I would add that yarn as well, and the little bunny, since it matched so well. Now today's video is in collaboration with Indiana Jones, Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling, and Monica from Up All Night DIY, and their information will be in the description box with a playlist of all the others who have joined into this collaboration. So make sure when you're finished here you jump over to that playlist and check out all the wonderful other creators' videos. So that takes me on to the next thing. I have this piece of fabric left over. It was a pillow sham, and I had used it for some pumpkins, some cottagecore pumpkins in the fall, and I wanted to just go ahead and cut out a couple of egg shapes and sew them and stuff them. Like that shabby or cottage core look, I think that a fabric like this works well, but these would also be awesome if you have primitive country decor and you have some fabrics that are either gingham check or have some stripes, or even in simply drop cloth and You can embellish them any way that you want to, but here I am just sewing those, flipping them inside out or right side out, and stuffing them with some fiber fill, and then I ran out of thread, so I ended up just gluing the bottoms of these instead of sewing them, which was perfectly fine. And then once I had those 3 done, I went into my stash, and I actually had another one of those baskets, but these would be so cute in a bowl as a bowl filler, on a centerpiece, on a tiered tray, in a child's basket, a little Easter basket, be so cute. But since I did still have another one of those little baskets, I thought that I would just do the same thing and add these eggs to that. And I had some pink shredded paper to put in there rather than moss to give it a little bit of a different look. And then when I was thrifting this past week, I got some amazing things. I'm going to try to do a haul video coming up. But one of the things I got had all these stamps in it, 2 different font alphabets and all the numbers. And so I decided to just stamp on a piece of muslin and tear that, and once I had that done, to just go ahead and glue that right to the front of one of these sweet little baskets. And then I just filled that with the pink shredded crepe paper, and you can get that at any party center, and put the eggs in that. And oh, there's so many things you can do with these. I thought they would be adorable if you had some yellow fabric to make chicks. I did not have yellow fabric anywhere in my home, but I'm hoping next year, or maybe if I have a little bit of time between now and Easter, to make a couple of chicks as well. It did look a little bit plain. Again, that basket is rather large for the small top, so I added a blue bow just to the corner edge of that little piece of fabric, and I thought that was so sweet. So here's a couple of different centerpiece or basket ideas for either spring or Easter. I didn't put Happy Easter, I put eggs for sale just in case I want to keep that out all spring. Also, at the dump this week, this little bunny was sitting on the good table at the dump, and it was filthy. So I just took it home and cleaned it real good and glued a piece of that florist foam in the bottom, and just added a sweet little arrangement of those same colors left over. And the inside of the bunny ears and the nose were already in this pretty peachy color. I thought that would be just adorable. Again, I just added a little bit of reindeer moss, and all done. Simple, simple, simple. So be real sweet to just put this anywhere in your home for the spring season, or again would be great for Easter. Starting to have little bunnies everywhere I look around my home, and I just love it. I think they're so, so sweet. So that was a nice find for me. I imagine this little thing is actually vintage. So if you have anything for a planter, just make a sweet little arrangement. And then I got this bunny at the dollar store, or the Dollar Tree in my area, for $1.25, and it's rather large and actually quite well made. It has a weighted bottom, and it is already adorable, but I wanted to make this a little bit more vintage grungy looking, so I cut off the tags, and I just put it in a bowl with a little bit of my iced coffee that I had left over, and I just sort of squished him in the bowl. I didn't want to get too much all over him, especially since he had beans or something, rocks maybe inside of him, but I just sort of got that coffee dyed, and then I pulled out a little bit of vanilla, some cloves, and some cinnamon, and just sort of dumped a little bit here and there just to get that a little grungy looking, a little dirty, and then brushed on with I just sprinkled on the spices for a little bit more of a vintage dirty look here. Look like she's been out in the garden picking carrots, and just adorable. So $1.25, so cute. And then once I was finished with that, I decided that I wanted to use these sweet little wooden bunnies that I got, a whole pack of them. I think maybe there's 8 in a pack from the dollar store as well. So I just pulled a couple of those out, and they have a little cotton tail on the back of them. And I would love to have done the Peter Rabbit challenge somebody had put together. I just absolutely love anything Beatrix Potter, and I had some really awesome ideas for that. But again, that just was not going to happen. So I thought I might do something with these. So I took out a little bit of antiquing wax and just waxed up both sides of these little bunnies to make them look a little bit more in the brown tones like the mama. And I wanted to make a little apron, so I had the pocket of a pair of blue jeans, and I cut that down to size and then used the pieces that I cut off to add some little strings to go around that little bunny. And the nice thing about this pocket is it already had a liner to it, so it literally is a pocket. And then once I had that done, I just covered the edges of this with some pretty frilly lace that was hanging around. And then I put the little bunnies inside the pocket and put the apron on the mama. It's so cute. I just took a little pink marker and added some little pink to the ears and nose on these bunnies and glued them in. And then I added a few of the little carrots that come in a package at the dollar store, and I just took that antiquing wax and just waxed them. They're pretty bright orange, so I wanted them to make them look more like they had just come out of the garden. A little darker, so up against the mother, so I did add a little bit of dry brushing to bring out the little bit of 3-dimension on them. And that is all I did to that, and I think she is so sweet. And that was the cheapest. Oh my goodness, $4. I think by the time I bought the bunnies and the mother bunny and the carrots, that was $3.75. So to buy the items, and just so adorable for this. And I think an older child would like this in an Easter basket, or again, it would be adorable for an arrangement. So those are my little spring or Easter, very simple items that I have made for you this week. And if you are looking for some more sophisticated spring, I do have the last 4 videos that I think have probably been some of my better videos for spring in some time. So check those out. I would love to know what you think, and if you want to make any of these for your little Easter or spring, let me know. Thank you so much for stopping by, and stay tuned. I have a really awesome video coming up of some larger pieces that I have been flipping, and it is with the Crafting Cousins and Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs, so make sure you stay tuned for that, which I believe is next week. So I will see you then. Take care.